On September 30th, 2025, at exactly 22 fuck! Already, I fucked up. On December 30th, 2025, at exactly 22:08 or 10:08 p.m. to you fucking gaijins, I posted this tweet on Twitter. And I quote, "Can I come inside?" The tweet is a joke in multiple different ways. First, it is a play on words, replacing the word come with come. Secondly, to me at least, the idea of someone asking so politely and cordially if they can come inside the person that they're having sex with is deeply amusing to me. Very highbrow stuff, I am aware. In just 20 minutes, the user Weird Al Fan 2004, who goes by Cozy, stylized with the O replaced with a 0, replied to the tweet with, and I quote, "the sexual vampire." Now to the average layman, the tweet seems nonsensical. What do vampires have to do with any of this, you may ask? Well, I argue this is possibly the greatest response a person can give to a tweet like this. You see, in order to understand where I'm coming from, let me explain the mythos of the vampire archetype. For many decades, vampires are portrayed as very powerful beings. They live for centuries, having supernatural abilities, very cunning and deceptive, bearer of the silver tongue. But they have many, and I mean many weaknesses. I think we all know the common ones, like sunlight, garlic, and the wooden stake, classic. Then there's all the religious imagery and stuff, the cross, holy water, and Christ thorns. Then there's the really stupid ones like running water, rice. Yes, rice. Some stories on vampires, they actually stop their tracks and count the many thousands grains of rice. It is stupid, I know. Another stupid weakness is that you can just not invite a vampire. A vampire cannot harm you and kill you if you do not let them in. This was popularized in Bram Stoker's Dracula. This traces back to the old days of Europe during the 18th century. Houses were seen as a very sacred sanctuary. When you are invited to one's house, you must be at your utmost behavior. But if you were to do something bad, let's say like rape or murder, you will obviously not only be kicked out, but everyone in the town will know what you did, locking their doors, refusing entry, and letting the authorities to deal with the situation. Obviously, inviting a vampire is like inviting death himself, so that's where the trope came from. Let's connect with Cozy's tweets, where instead of asking permission to come inside your place of living, they will ask for permission to come inside of your place of birthing, or shitting if you're a guy. I think it's funny. Anyways, bye.
Juliet, I'm not sure I can do this. Just being ahead.
There's a lot of cool things about being ahead. First of all, I can put you in a bag and sneak you into movies for free.
That hardly makes up for...
At first, before James Gunn's Superman hit the silver screen, I didn't really care all that much for it. Besides the Scooby-Doo films he wrote, I never watched his films like Super, Slither, or the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. But after watching the movie with my friends, wow. It's fair to say I fairly enjoyed it. But something about the writing and style of his reminded me of something I've experienced before. And then I remember of the glittery covered gore that is Lollipop Chainsaw from the punk rock minds of Goichi Suda, aka Suda51, and James Gunn himself. Lollipop Chainsaw is an action hack and slash from the eccentric video game developer Grasshopper Manufacturer, known for gems like The Silver Case and Killer 7.
Women are all the same.
The story goes that Suda51 came up with the concept of the game himself, the idea of a barely 18-year-old high school cheerleader, Juliet Starling, where she and her family are in the monster killing business with her acrobatic talent and giant chainsaw. James Gunn was brought in when Warner Brothers Interactive was chosen to publish the game. In James Gunn's words, he was in charge of adding more meat to the story and writing the dialogue, claiming there wasn't much of a story to begin with.
Did you come up with that concept, or was that Suda's? Like, who came up with being headless and still alive?
That was Suda's, yes. Okay. Yes. That was already there, the headless dude.
And what would you say?
But there was no reason for it, so that we had to make up. That we had to make up as we go along.
He's credited as the one who adapted the story. The game is a strange fusion of the East and the West. There's a zombie invasion happening, all on Juliet's 18th birthday. Her boyfriend Nick, while trying to save Juliet, unfortunately got bitten, but luckily our hero saved his life, although with some caveats.
What? Oh no.
I had to.
Oh God! Oh fuck! Ah, God!
Turns out the man responsible for the mess is a god student named Swan, who calls upon 5 zombies, the Dark Purveyors, each representing a genre of rock. Now it is up to Juliet, Nick, and the rest of the Starling family to save the day and to avenge Juliet's pervert sensei. The game has a 6 sets of style. It goes for a loud Western comic book style. The UI is composed of panels, comic book bold fonts, and a spiky text box, and a half-tone effect, especially the colors where it's warm, The white isn't necessarily white, but rather like a beige, mimicking the aging color on the page of comics. Sparkles, glitter, rainbows, and stars come out whenever you saw down zombies. The crazy and absurd clash of the typical girly colors and iconography with the blood and guts. The vignette, I don't know how to pronounce this. The vignette that frames the screen. To me, it adds to that B-movie sort of grindhouse feeling in the game, making everything in the center of the screen pop out. I love it. While the in-game graphics are fine. Excuse me. I had difficulties with my capture card, so my solution was to emulate the game. I refused to touch the repop version, as if it's the inferior way to play the game because of these reasons. Boop. But from what I remember, and seeing other footage played on actual hardware, frame rates is unstable. Tries to hit 30 FPS, but is not always successful. There's something strange when it comes to the animation. I don't know why, but they have difficulties with animating the faces, more specifically the mouth. It can look off, but besides that, the game looks good. Levels have a variety of visuals and themes, from the hallways of the typical American high school, baseball fields, arcades, and even the barns. Each level has a distinct set of colors, and even the zombies correspond with the location. The baseball field has zombie cheerleaders and batters, and the arcade has the typical nerds. No surprise, it's a Grasshopper manufacturer game. Aside from being stylish, there's another classic tradition of Grasshopper games.